Scale modeling in Canada. There's been a big shakeup, a lot of changes over the last year or so. Almost all the Tamiya lacquer spray paints were banned in Canada. On the heels of that, a lot of Mr. Hobby products also got banned in Canada. If you relied on them, this has caused a big gap both on our shelves and in your tool of things you like to use when you do scale modeling. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to go down and just not do it anymore? I suggest we find alternatives to this. For many hobbyists and a lot of my customers, the absence of the popular spray paint lines and accessories was an insurmountable problem. But as they say, with every problem, there presents an opportunity. And in this case, the opportunity is going to the airbrush. The airbrush itself, it's a precise, versatile tool. It's surprisingly approachable and affordable. This allows you to take full control of your paint. Whereas an air cam, you got used to using it. I understand that. You got used to what it would do and what it wouldn't do. The airbrush is the same way, but it has more versatility. So this unlocks all kinds of new creative possibilities. It'll allow you to do things that you may not have thought about doing. This is more empowering. It overcomes limitations that are presented by spray cans. It offers an alternative strategy and allows you to spray the same paints you fell in love with in the spray can, but in a different method, and you'll find a much more versatile way of doing it. Enter Gaahleri, a professional hobby tools brand that has been available in North America since 2023. They've been established globally for a few years and offer a full line of airbrushes, compressors, and accessories. Their products are high quality, beginner friendly, and compatible with all hobby paints. Here at the Hobby Center, we've already stocked several Gaahleri options, including the Ambition Series GTS-06 mini compressor and dual action airbrush combo. Quiet, smooth, and easy to use, it's perfect if you've been intimidated by airbrushing or just want a reliable alternative to cheap brushes or high-end Iwatas. The Ambition GTS-06 is designed to be simple and beginner-friendly. Setting it up is quick, it runs quietly, and using it is intuitive, giving you smooth, professional results without the hassle or frustration of complicated equipment. So let's have a look at they start at new game start. And that's really what our focus has been about this talk about airbrushes. Let's talk about a new start. Whether you're already airbrushing or you've never airbrushed, this is an exciting product. When we first heard about Gaahleri and we looked at their product line, we got particularly excited about this one. This is the GTS-06. This is an airbrush and compressor combination. Now, when I saw the retail price for this, I said, come on, this has got to be junk. No, sir. This is the real deal, and I'll show you why. Upon opening the box, we find the quick start guide. It's mostly pictorial. It is a Chinese product. There's a lot of Chinese language, but there's also English and other languages and a lot of pictures. So you know a picture says 1,000 words. The compressor unit, the power supply, the paint cup, the brush itself, and then when one lifts out the tray that everything is conveniently in, there's a braided air hose. Not a vinyl, but a braided air hose, and a decent size too, 6 foot. So let's take out the compressor. It's not terribly heavy. It's got suction cups on the bottom, so it will adhere to a surface like glass, and that's solidly on there. We also see 2 outlets. So one could have 2 hoses on this. This is where the power supply goes in. So power supply plugs in there. It's all push button. There's no dial. There's no pulling up and turning. There's no gauge. There's just a number of pressures from 15 to 27 psi's. You can jump immediately to maximum, drop to minimum, or you can go up and down in increments. This is the on button here. So once the power is applied, everything's set up, you hit the on button. I think it starts in the center, and then you can move around from there. These little suckers plug into here. So if you have 2 airbrushes, you just store them there. The air cup, which comes off easily for easy cleaning. Typical gravity feed. Dual action airbrush. Threads in and out. That makes cleaning much easier. So I mentioned double action. So in a double action airbrush, when I push down, I get air. So right now it would only spray air. As I pull back, I'm making a needle come out of a nozzle, and the more I pull back, the more paint I release. So straight air, slowly adding paint as I go back until it's wide open. Now this is a basic double action, but even that being so, see this little thing I'm bringing in the back? That's a limiter. As I pull it back, I can only pull this back that far, and it says, that's it, that's all. So by pushing down on that, pulling it to there, that will hold it constantly at that width. So it's kind of like using a spray can. So I've set my width at an inch and a half, whatever I can get. I pull it back to there, and that means I'm spraying that width constantly. When you have this released all the way out, that means I can do a little bit, medium, a lot. I can make those patterns, those waves, the streaks starting small, go big, go small. That all comes with practice. It's not terribly easy to do, but with a little practice, anybody can do it. So that's kind of freestyling with a double airbrush. Using this thing turns it into what we call a single action airbrush, which means it's limited to a certain spray pattern. Now that being said, if I go halfway, I still have a range of motion. So I go 0 to the halfway point. So if I'm making, I want to limit that broad flare or wave or whatever, I can limit it by how far I pull that back. So I can go wee, or I can go wee, or, you know, sound effects included. No, that's just a lid on that thing. I think it's a press fit. Yeah, pops off. There's where the paint goes in. And this little guy here, as long as you keep that hole in the middle of it clear, you can put that on there so that when you do a little side to siding, you're not dumping your paint all over. But make sure that's clear or you cause a vacuum in there and she won't work. With popular spray paints now banned in Canada like Tamiya and Mr. Hobby, there's never been a better time to take up airbrushing. Now, they've been talking about possibly reformulating the paints and reintroducing them to the market, but that's not a sure thing. Canada is a very small market. Let's be honest with ourselves. So whether they do or not, I can't say for sure. I don't have a crystal ball. So if you want to use that paint, I can set you up with the same Tamiya paint you got out of that spray can with the appropriate thinner, but with the control and ease of airbrushing. So it's never been a better time to airbrush. If you hesitated because it's too complicated, it's too much work in that, we will make steps to show you how easy it can be. And like everything else, practice will make it easier. The more you use it, the more you'll be comfortable with it, the more effective you will be with it. This, the GTS-06 from Gaahleri, is an excellent introductory kit, both for quality, ease of use, and price point. We should be getting everybody into airbrushing. This is, I exaggerate in a way, but not really. This is airbrushing for the masses. Anybody who's hesitated, there's no excuse now. This is a simple, affordable way to get on board. Stop by the Hobby Center, either come in person or 24/7 online at www.hobson.com and get yours and start your adventure as soon as you can. Just remember, your next great model starts here.